babe, if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you're trying to be productive because you have a lot of things you want to do, or you are doing something that is really important and you feel like you might not be as productive during Ramadan, but there are ways that you can actually enhance the way you feel. And the very first tip to doing this is to think long term, avoid short term things, have clarity on your goals and objectives. Why are you going after what you are going after? Why are you actually doing this thing that you're trying to be productive at? It's because you have a goal. There is something you want to achieve. This might not be the long-term thing. This might just be a short period of time. Maybe you have to do this for 1 month, 6 months, 2 years. Just because this will help you, you have an advantage. This will help you to actually achieve your longer-term goals. But if you're not really thinking long-term and you don't even know why you are doing this, if you're just doing it for doing it, you really will not be motivated to do much. You will just be fine with relaxing and maybe just putting in the bare minimum. And I have a feeling that you clicked on this video because you actually want to excel. You're interested in excelling. You just don't want to pass through whatever you're doing. You are trying to put in your best, because if you are not trying to put in your best, you really will not care about being productive. You don't mind doing the bare minimum. And the best way to do this is to think on paper. Pick up a piece of paper or a book and write down your goals. Why are you doing what you are doing? And set a deadline. Okay, I want to achieve this within 1 year. So if I want to achieve this within 1 year and this will help me achieve it, that will help you to take action and actually start doing what you want to do, because there's a deadline, you need to do this thing. But if there's no deadline, you really be relaxed and you're not doing it. So ensure you do something every day that will take you one step closer to your goals. But you need to know your goals first. So think long. If you are new here, this is actually the third episode of my book club series. This is a series where every month we pick a book, we read it, and we discuss on things we learned. I share things that I've learned that can benefit you. The book for the last month that actually inspired this video is the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. It's a book on how to stop procrastinating and how to get more done. So the 5 tips I'm sharing are from this book, but I've spiced it up a little. I'm adding a little bit of flair to it to make it more interesting and more relatable. So if you're interested in knowing more of the tips and knowing more on this book, I'll leave a link to get the paperback and the audiobook in the description down below. And if you're interested in joining the book club, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video, and watch to the end of this video so you see the book for next month. Now let's get back into the video. The second tip is to forget about the bigger picture. That seems like an irony with what I just said now, yes, but it's two different things. When I say forget about the bigger pictures, when you have such a massive task ahead of you, you need to study this big book, or you need to submit this assignment, you need to do this project, you need to complete this task. Forget about the bigger picture of what you're trying to do and break it into small manageable tasks. If you have a book to read, stop thinking about, oh, I need to read this book today, I need to finish this today, or break it into manageable tasks. If you have a job you need to complete, don't always fixate on the idea that you need to complete this job and it's so huge you don't know how to do it. Take it one step at a time. So you break that work or you break that assignment into little manageable pieces. Say, okay, for today I'm not doing too much. For today, this is what I'm going to focus on. This is the little part I need to do first of all. Making it into smaller manageable tasks will not make it seem so huge and will not make it seem like a burden. It will make it easier for you. You will not need to actually procrastinate because you've broken down like, okay, I'm not really doing the whole thing, I'm just doing this little portion of it, so let me just do it now. You really will not procrastinate, and that will make you more productive, because at the end of the day, when you look at all the little things you've done, you'll be surprised that you've actually done a lot. And I'm using my hands a lot. I'm using my hands a lot. So the third tip is to eat that frog. And what this basically means is that you should tackle your most important task immediately you get up. Because it's Ramadan season, what our advice is that you should find out your peak time. Is it in the morning after sahur instead of sleeping back? You are more productive then, or is it at night after you're done eating, after iftar, and you work on it? So just find your peak time and set this time aside for your most important tasks of the day. Once you have a list of all the things you need to do, you should know which one is more important, and you should leave that time, whether it's in the morning or in the night, specifically for that task. This is also called the scary hour. This is just setting a time for you to do the most important or the scariest thing, the thing that you have been avoiding for a while that you don't even know how to start. But you set that time and you know every day by this time I'm actually going to do the task that is hard for me. What this helps is that if you are able to do it early in the morning, like the book suggests, for the rest of the day you feel accomplished and you are motivated to do more because you've done such a huge task that is very important or something you've been avoiding for a while, and that just gives you a lot of zeal to actually continue being productive for the rest of the day. You'll be able to do the little things because you have a win. And as humans, when we have wins early in the morning or anytime during the day, we feel more fulfilled and we are more eager to actually do other things. But if you don't accomplish anything during the day, or if you don't accomplish something so early, the rest of the day will just go like that because you never started the day on the right foot. So don't procrastinate. Just try to set that time for 1 hour or for 2 hours. This is my peak time during this period. I need to do this because I already know my why. I already know that I'm working towards something. So by this time every day, I'm going to do the thing that feels like a lot to me that I'm avoiding. Now the fourth tip has to also do with the third tip, and this is to plan your day ahead, because for you to tackle the most important thing during your day, either at the morning or the night, you need to know what the most important thing is. Every night before you go to bed, pick up a book or a piece of paper and write down everything you need to accomplish for the day. So when you write down the 10 things you need to accomplish, now you are going to grade them. You're going to grade them from grade A to grade D. So A, B, C, D. A are tasks that are very important and they have consequences. And you can have more than one A. You can have A1, A2, A3, but that means you have 3 tasks that have consequences, but A is the most important one. B tasks are tasks that are important but have mild consequences. C tasks are tasks that have no consequences, but it's just something you like to do. It's something you like to do. Maybe it's your passion project, something you are doing on your own. If you don't get it done, there are no consequences, but you want to do it. So any task like that is on your list, you grade them C. And D is for tasks that might not make a difference. If you do it or you don't do it, it really doesn't make a difference. Grade everything A, B, C, D, A1, A2, B1, B2, C. So when you grade everything, that gives you a clear picture of everything you want to achieve for the day. So if you see it, you know your A1. When you see A1, that means this is the most important task on this list, and this has the most consequences. This now helps you to identify your frog, like, okay, this is what I need to do at my peak period. I have to set a specific time for this so that I get this done as early as possible during my peak period, if you understand what I'm saying. So this is important. This step comes before eating your frog, because this will help you actually identify your frog. It's really important to actually do things that are more important before you start with little tasks, because sometimes those little tasks can even take a lot of time. But if you take on the most important things, the things that are A, B, that are really important, if you do those early on, you have the momentum to do the little things. But if you start with little things, you might not really want to work your way up to the hard things, because you are just doing things easily and you might not be in the state of mind to actually do the hard things. But if you start from the hard things, it's easier for you to go to the little things that doesn't really make any difference. This is like the art of creative procrastinating. You are procrastinating on the C things, the D things, but you are procrastinating in a way that makes you productive, because you are focusing on the things that are important now. Not that you're just procrastinating on everything or not doing anything, but you are actually strategic about what you are going to do later, and you focus on the things that are more important for now. And the book mentioned the law of forced efficiency, and this is a law that states that there is never going to be enough time for you to do everything. Like, you get ideas of things you can do, but there will never be enough time for you to do everything. But there will always be time for you to do the most important things. So days will go by, you might not be able to do the C things or the D things, but as far as you get the A things or the B things done. And this also goes with the 80-20 rule. I think it's called the Pareto principle, and this just states that 20% of our actions actually determine 80% of our outcome. Like 20% of, if you're a business person, 20% of your customers actually generate 80% of your income. So it's not about doing the most things, it's about doing the things that matter the most, the things that will give you the most result. Now the fifth tip is to practice getting into a flow state, and this is a state where you're 100% or 99% focused on the task at hand. You're not thinking about any other thing. And the best way to do this is to avoid distractions. Keep your phone away. Don't be doing what you are doing and scrolling on your phone also, because that way you are not focused and you will not get the maximum result. This is something I'm trying to work on also. So there are some tunes that could help you enter a flow mode. You can listen to binaural beats, and I even heard that listening to the same sound every time you're about to do something serious programs your brain, that anytime your brain hears that, you're already automatically in work mode. So if you can find a sound that you like, maybe sound of nature, binaural beats, all these tunes that don't have lyrics, that you can play whenever you know it's time for you to get into work, or the Quran when it's time to get into work. And if you do it repeatedly, your brain gets used to it, that anytime it hears it, it knows that it's time to work and is ready to focus. But keep distractions out, so you can enter that flow mode, and you achieve a lot when you're in flow mode. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you are so into what you are doing, like you're not even thinking about anything else until you are done with that thing. Most times I actually achieve a whole lot more, instead of when I'm trying to distract myself by playing something in the background. I really don't get as much work done as when I'm focused on that thing and I'm doing that specifically. A way to help this is to time block, and this just means set a specific time for doing that task. If you say, okay, for 1 hour I'm going to concentrate on this, it makes it easy. Or you use the Pomodoro technique, that's 25 minutes to work, 5 minutes rest. But setting a time, a specific time to do a task, will also help your brain, and it won't feel like a loss because you know that you're working within a time, and it will be easy to avoid distractions. And the most important thing for you to know is that every day will not be the same. Like it's Ramadan season, I know we're trying to read, pray, and do everything we're supposed to do at the same time, but every day will not be the same. Some days will be more productive than others, and that's fine. Some days you will not really just, you will just not have the energy to do anything, and you should be fine with that. You should just be fine with that and look forward to the next day. Don't beat yourself up because you did not achieve so much in a day. And this is something I'm trying to learn. There are certain times that you will not be as productive, especially as women. There are times, especially during your period, that you won't be as productive as others, and you should be open to those seasons. If it happens that way, be open to it and just look forward to the next. There is no need beating yourself up about that. So that's it for this video. If you have anything that you'd like to implement more during this period, please let me know in the comment section. And if you have anything I didn't mention that I think is really important, please leave them in the comment section. Also, I need some help also, so I might be able to read something that will help me. So now to the book for next month is, I don't know why I'm picking strange titles this period. I'm just picking a lot of strange titles, but the title of this book is Who Moved My Cheese, and this is a book by Spencer Johnson. Now, this book belongs to my dad, and I've seen it a lot of time, but the title never moved me enough to read it. But I saw a summary of this book somewhere else, and I felt like it's an important thing. And this book basically is a summary on how to deal with change, because change is something that is really constant in our life. But sometimes we plan our life in a certain way, but in reality it doesn't go that way. And when it doesn't go the way we want, sometimes we freeze and we don't really know what to do. So that's what this book is talking about, how to deal with change in your work and in your life. So I've not read it yet, so I'm excited to read it and share what I've learned with you. If you're interested in reading this also, I'll leave a link down below where you can get the audiobook and the paper book. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video, and check out this video next. Bye.